Hello and happy Monday. We're so excited to be starting off your week. I'm Gabe Evans.
And I'm Sneha Viguru. You're watching NewsWatch Ole. Last night was an eventful one with the Eagles winning Super Bowl 59. Gabe, who were you rooting for?
I was honestly just rooting for a good game, but some might say we didn't get that.
You're so right. In case you didn't get enough football yesterday, we have a sports-heavy show for you today.
And later on the watch with your national news. You don't want to miss it. Well, the weather outside is taking a bit of a turn for the worse. I cannot lie.
I know, I'm getting so sad it's dreary. Let's check in with weather anchor William Traylor to see what it's looking like right now.
Well, the dog days of an early Mississippi summer have come and gone, and we are back into the 40s for your February, which is right where we expect to be. Later on, we're going to have some rain chances coming up tonight and all throughout this week, right before we get back to some 20-degree weather at the end of your week. I'll have more in your full forecast coming up later.
The NFL football season might be over, but at Ole Miss, preparations for the fall are already underway.
That's right. NewsWatch reporter Hannah Baker has more on the rising costs that could impact both tent vendors and student football fans next season.
Grove tailgating is facing a game-changing shakeup, and it all comes down to a new fee that could hit vendors and your wallet. Tent vendors will now have to pay to set up tents in the Grove, but vendors say it won't drastically change the total cost of service.
But most groups have 30, 40 people in them. So when you divide it, it's even if the whole amount were to be passed on, it's like $20 a person a game.
As you can see right behind me, the Grove stands still, but last football season brought in record-breaking revenue. However, new changes this fall will impose a new fee on tent vendors, who can expect to pay $150 for every 10 by 10 tent. Owner of Grove Sharks Tailgating, Eric Trimble, says this new fee will benefit our players, which will benefit our team.
NIL's changed the game, and now that they have to pay every player, the money has to come from somewhere. So, I'm for it because it supports the university.
The fees are a result of the House vs. NCAA settlement. According to the January 31st press release, Ole Miss will now pay $20 to $22 million to student athletes. Tent vendors won't be the only ones affected. Students will now pay $25 more for season ticket passes, and they aren't too thrilled about it.
I feel that's still too much. I know that we charge lower than most other schools, but they shouldn't keep jumping up like that.
Other changes fans can expect: there will be a total of 8 home games this upcoming season, which is the most out of any other prior season. Student season tickets will be available for purchase in the coming months. For NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Hannah Baker.
3 scholarships will be established with an estate gift of more than $900,000 from the late Floyd E. Pruden. The scholarships from the late alumnus will honor the donor and memorialize the lives of his parents. Wendell Weekly, president and CEO of the University of Mississippi Foundation, says he is extremely grateful for the Floyd's enduring support of the university. Pruden's gifts also include many of the Ole Miss football programs, which will be added to the university's athletic archive. In addition, the accounting school, the School of Business, and the J.D. Williams Library and the University Marching Band will also receive part of Pruden's estate gift.
The big event Cupid Run happened just this Saturday, and it was a fun-filled afternoon benefiting the big event. First place went to Thomas Tillerose, and the first female to cross the finish line was Julia Stradinger, coming in 7th place. Runners commented that there were no mile markers and the hills made it a bit difficult, so they worked hard for their victories and benefits. Participants got a free t-shirt with their entry fee, and some even dressed with cute hair ties and Valentine's themed accessories. Great job, guys. Looked like a great time.
This past Saturday, the Oxford Board of Aldermen approved a request to allow construction on Sundays to speed up the renovations of the Oxford City Pool. Alderman Keisha Howell Atkinson proposed this motion due to the specialized nature of the project that prevented much of the work to be completed until after the demolition occurred. The renovation project began in mid-September of 2024, and the pool is expected to reopen in late May of 2025, just in time for the summer.
The Oxford community is known for raising money for good causes. Empty Bowl is a great example as it raises funds for the pantry, Oxford's emergency food bank. The pantry serves around 700 families each month and operates almost every week. Empty Bowl offers handmade bowls and delicious food provided by local restaurants, caterers, country clubs, and hotels. Tickets for the event are $25 and each ticket includes a handmade bowl and numerous food options. Last year, the event served around 800 people and raised more than $30,000. This year, the event heads are hoping for an even bigger turnout.
Sounds like a great cause for sure. Coming up, you want to know how students feel about March Madness? We certainly have their answers.
And later on, Fly Eagles Fly, we're going to have all things Super Bowl. NewsWatch Ole Miss will be right back.
Sometimes in life, in order to move forward, it helps to look back.
To learn from the pioneers and trailblazers.
To gain inspiration from those who came before us.
To show us what it means to act with empathy and to show that love has no labels.
Join WWE and Love Has No Labels throughout the year in celebrating people from all communities and heritages.
Because when love has no labels,
That's a love we can all fight for.
Hurricane Helene, devastating impacts on the southeast. Now it's time to help the people and communities who need it most. To make a one-time financial gift to the American Red Cross, scan the QR code on the screen. Make sure to select I want to support Hurricane Helene and enter how much you'd like to donate. Or go to redcross.org/donate. Together, we will make a difference for those recovering in hard-hit communities.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. March Madness brings much excitement, brackets, and basketball fever to fans across the country, especially college students. NewsWatch anchor Ava Barlett got the latest from the Ole Miss students on their March Madness opinions.
Are you filling out a March Madness bracket this year?
Yes, I am.
What's your strategy?
I mean, you got to have all the big ones move on because those upsets are unlikely, but I don't know, with the 5 and 12 seeds, you usually got to give it, you know, 2 of them are going to lose at some point, and then you can fill out the upsets with the 7 and 10s and 8 and 9s.
Who do you think the biggest surprise team will be this year?
Definitely Marquette, 100%.
Which player do you think will carry Ole Miss through March Madness?
Number 4, my legend, Jermaine Brakefield. He's a GOAT.
Do you root for your school no matter what, or do you pick teams based on stats?
I'm going to root for my team no matter what. Howdy toddy! What's the best part of watching March Madness as a student?
Probably just getting to see my team win and like hoping for the best.
Which matchup would you most like to see in the championship game?
Purdue versus Marquette.
Which player do you think will carry Ole Miss through March Madness?
Sean Patula, easy.
Which player are you most excited to watch in the tournament?
You know my boy Jamin Brakefield, number 4. We gotta he gonna be pump faking, they gonna jump for it every time. My boy Jamin Brakefield, he's gonna drop 30 every single game. We coming in with that 6 seed, Jamin Brakefield. Come on, Jay Brake.
Would you travel to watch Ole Miss if they made a run in the tournament?
It's a good question. Honestly, if it's driving distance, I'm there. If I have to get your plane ticket, too much money, I don't know. But I'll be there. I'll be there.
Which teams do you hope to see in the Final Four?
I hope to see Duke, Auburn, Ole Miss, and Florida.
This is NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm Ava Waltenberger reporting from Ole Miss campus.
All right, thank you, Ava. We'll have much more sports later for you in the show. But first, here's news anchor Sneha Vira with The Watch.
Thank you, Gabe. Maryland lawmakers gathered around the Social Security Administration headquarters in protest the White House's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, gaining access to the U.S. Treasury Department's payment system. The lawmakers called for the protection of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, as DOGE now has access to the payment system that handles these government programs. Additionally, numerous lawsuits have been filed by unions, advocacy groups, and 19 attorney generals stating that the Trump administration allowing Doge to access the Treasury Department's payment system violated federal law. In response to the debate over the legality of Doge's access to Treasury records, a federal judge blocked the access on Saturday. And speaking of protests, the Hostage and Missing Families Forum has put out a statement saying the families of hostages detained in Gaza have asked for urgent assistance from negotiating countries. This is to help implement the ceasefire deal after Hamas said they will postpone the hostage release that's supposed to happen this Saturday. The original hostage deal was primarily devised by the United States of America and Qatar. However, Hamas stated today it will postpone the hostage release, claiming that Israel broke the ceasefire agreement. Israel, on the other hand, has claimed Hamas violated the agreement. The forum also stated that they stand with the Israeli government and encourage peaceful conditions that will lead to the safe return of the hostages in Gaza. President Donald Trump laid out his plans Sunday for the U.S. to redevelop Gaza, saying he viewed the war-torn enclave as a big real estate site. According to the United Nations, Israel's war on Hamas has displaced 90% of Gaza residents, many of whom have been forced to move repeatedly.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never had. We have a lot of things that create wealth, and you're seeing that over the last 2 weeks. I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth, the people, my predecessors. We're creating a lot of wealth.
That's all your national news updates for today. Be sure to tune back into NewsWatch throughout the week for more developments. Back to Gabe at the desk.
All right, thank you, Sneha. We're going to hear more from you after the break. But first, William, can you tell us a little bit about how the weather is outside?
Well, it's a lot colder than it was this time last week, I'll tell you that, and it's going to get even colder. I'll have more about that right after the break.
This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Well, we're back to some February weather, what we would exactly what we would expect for this time of the year. 48 degrees is what we got up to today, and we're going to stay in that 40-degree area for the remainder of the week, really. Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. I'm William Traylor with your local weather forecast. So tonight, we are going to have some rain. Today, we had some chilly weather. Tomorrow, we're going to have some chilly weather, and that's just going to be the case all throughout this week with those 40-degree highs that I just spoke about a moment ago. And as we move in to your Tuesday and Wednesday, we will see those kind of chilly highs turn into some chilly rain with some chilly highs as well. 6-mile-an-hour winds right now in South Haven, 47 degrees, 49 in Tupelo, and here in Oxford, 47 degrees as well. Get used to that for at least the next few days. Before we talk about what we plan to see here over the next couple of days, we want to first discuss what will happen tonight, and that is going to be a 92% chance of precipitation. So even though today we've only seen just a few drops here and there, tonight that's really going to pick up 92%. And I want to talk about that 92% for just a minute, because you may think that that means that there's a 92% chance that it will rain, but that's not what that means. That means that 92% of our viewing area will see rain. A bit of a difference, but an important difference to note. So as we go into tonight and into tomorrow, you'll notice that these few scattered showers that we have around the region right now will turn into a band of showers that will come out of our west, as the bands normally do, and push towards the east, getting stronger as they cross the Mississippi River. Now, I want to show you here how this will work, like it typically does. It will come from Texas, from Oklahoma, from Kansas, and work its way across the Plain States, across the Mississippi River, and into our region tonight, this evening, which is where our rain showers will come from. And you can already see the beginning of that system starting to build up here in the Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas region that will move about and go over the Mississippi into Tennessee and the Mississippi. And that's what we're going to be seeing for the next few days. We will not see any sunshine come our way for at least the next 3 days. Thursday is when we expect to see the next bit of sunshine coming into our area, and until then it's going to be a bit cold and it's going to be a bit dreary outside with these rain showers and with those clouds. So keep that umbrella handy, keep that jacket handy, you will certainly need it. Tomorrow, 48 degrees, that chance of precipitation really should be 100%. So, just add 60 to that and then you'll have the accurate forecast, because it will be raining all day long tomorrow and Wednesday, and just a little bit on Thursday. So keep that in mind, be prepared for that. That's what we're going to be seeing, those cold temperatures and that rain. Tomorrow's regional forecast is going to be about the same as we saw today, temperature-wise. 46 in South Haven, 49 in Corinth, 49 down in Tupelo, and 48 here in Oxford. And as we go further into your work week, as we said just a moment ago, you will see that stay relatively consistent with your highs in the upper 40s, 49 for Monday, 57 on Wednesday. That's about as warm as we're going to get this week, coming down to 55 on Friday. Lows in the 40s and chances of rain all week long. It will not stop raining until at least Thursday, but some people might say that we need it.
Man, I would be okay with the rain if it wasn't so cold.
Well, it's just the way it is. We're in Mississippi. You're either going to have cold and rain, or you're going to have tornadoes, one of the two. So
it's crazy to think last week it was so hot.
And now right here, we're at 48 degrees. Yeah. We really hope that those warmer temperatures would have stayed around for a little bit longer. We won't see that again until about March, more than likely. So just in time for spring break, though.
Most definitely.
That's exciting.
Well, that's okay, because our favorite sport here at Ole Miss is indoors. And coming up, me and sports analyst Caitlin Salas will talk some Rebel basketball after the men got a big win in Baton Rouge this weekend, and how Ole Miss alum A.J. Brown will be bringing home a ring. Check back in after the break for this and more.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Gonna be a hot one out there for move-in weekend, Ole Miss. Good luck this year, Red.
You did it. You're home. I can't wait for you to discover the true meaning of Hotty Toddy. It's a cheer that connects us all to the red and blue. It's the moment that begins when you step on campus and continues long after you turn your tassel. I can't wait for you to discover your legacy and make the world a better place. Are you ready? Everyone has a ritual. That small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip. To clear our minds and elevate our performance. What do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Maybe you surround yourself with positivity. Or you need to center yourself. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back, Rebs. I'm Erica Dierke with Sports Watch. Super Bowl Sunday has come and gone, and this year the confetti is not red and gold. The Eagles have bested the Chiefs in this 2025 rematch 42-22, but Philadelphia had control of this game the entire time. In fact, the Gatorade was poured before the 2-minute warning. It seemed Kansas City's defense had their attention on standout player Saquon Barkley, holding him to only 2.3 yards per carry. But Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts quickly adapted and went 17 for 22 for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bested only by his own defense, who kept the Chiefs scoreless for the majority of the game. And a very happy birthday to cornerback Cooper DeJean, who had a game-defining pick 6. Ole Miss women's basketball took a tough loss to the number 15 Oklahoma Sooners last Thursday at home. The women's team is back in action tonight, though, at the Pavilion at 6 as they take on Kentucky. Hopefully these Lady Rebs make the Wildcats look like scaredy cats, just like the men did last week. Speaking of the men's team, they secured a nail-biter win against LSU on Saturday. With a 3-pointer from Jamin Brakefield and a last-second tip-in by Dre Davis, the Rebs won the game in Baton Rouge 72-70. In a minute, we will hear from sports analyst Caitlin Salas as she has more about the men's thrilling game. But first, let's see what action sports reporter Macy Ivy caught at the women's game last Thursday.
The Ole Miss women's basketball team was defeated by Oklahoma tonight 66-56. The Sooners had some tight defense in the first half, keeping the Rebels trailing by a huge differential. At the end of the first half, the Rebels made a huge comeback, adding 20 points. Score was 31-29 Oklahoma at the end of the first half. Coach Joe must have had an amazing speech because in the second half, Ole Miss was extremely dominant, keeping the Sooners trailing until the last 5 minutes. A little bit of stress was added to the Rebels as they allowed 17 points for Oklahoma. The scoring leader was Star Jacobs for the Rebels, who had 15 points, and Oklahoma's Peyton Verhulst had 19. Now, this seems to be a minor setback for the Rebels, but we'll see if they can make a major comeback as they take on the number 11 Kentucky Wildcats this Monday at 6 p.m. In the Pavilion, NewsWatch Ole Miss, I'm Macy Ivy.
All right, well, the Super Bowl was certainly an eventful evening, a very fun halftime show. The Eagles were ahead the entire time. What were y'all's takes on the Super Bowl?
I mean, what you said earlier was right. It was kind of boring.
It was just a
for
little
a
bit.
Super Bowl.
I love the halftime show, though, personally.
Yeah, and I know we're going to hear more about that later in the show, and I'm super excited because it was really good. I loved it.
It was really good. It was different. A lot of people go back and forth on the Super Bowl show every year, but I enjoy the diversity that we have within how we can do different shows every year and everything. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we will dive into that later. I can't wait. But first, let's finally talk about that LSU game with Caitlin Salas.
Well, what a great game at the Super Bowl, but here back at the LSU game, let's hear some of my top 10, or more than top 10, plays here after a big win right in Baton Rouge. So starting off, you could see right here how it is such a big fan base that it is a crazy game, but here we go. Sean Padula with the 3. Insane game. Here you go. Keeping it up. But here we go. We get Jamin Brakefield coming in hot. Afterwards, we're getting right into the top, Matthew Morrell coming back from an injury, a crazy game, keeping it up for the Rebs though. Another one, Jamin Brakefield getting a 3, keeping it up for the Rebs, especially in their upcoming games. Another one, Sean Padula taking it with the 3, especially keeping it up for the Rebs. Now still down, but we're going to keep going. Here we go, Jamin Brakefield about to get to the 3, keeping it up, and right here is where we're hoping to get a tie, and we get a tie right from here. Trey Davis making the game about 2 seconds left, keeping it up. He gets the tip in, as you can see in the slow-mo action, right in the net. And just keep watching closely.
You don't think it's going to go in, and right away tips it in, getting a big win for the Ole Miss Rebels this past Saturday in Baton Rouge. And here we go once more time, right in the net, thanks to Dre Davis. And here we go with LSU, a big win in their home court against the Ole Miss Rebels this past Saturday. Well, that's all I have about the LSU game. The men are back in action in South Carolina on Wednesday, so be sure to tune in. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. That is all we have for sports today, but be sure to follow us on our socials and tune in to our sports talk show Rebel Watch Friday at 5 on YouTube.
Most definitely, Erica. Thank you so much. Coming up for you at NewsWatch, we'll have more on the Super Bowl.
Specifically, the halftime show. Stay tuned for all of the details on the star-studded performance.
And just like that, she starts to grin. A special flame's been lit within. The spark of something new begins. There's something in the water. On her own, she's in the zone. Determination can't be thrown. Resilience building in her bones. There's something in the water. With her gator on and her waders on, she can tackle anything till dawn. There must be something in the water. On and off the boat she flies. The sky's the limit, she's soaring high. She's a force of nature on the rise. There's something in the water.
Just try one. If you don't like it, it's easy to give up.
Uh-oh, nicotine. I'd better move fast. Up and away!
Go on, kid, go on.
Superman, is it hard to give up smoking or is it easy like nicotine says?
You no good windbag, nicotine.
No, Superman. Leave me one. Please, I need one. Just...
That's how hard it is. That's why I never say yes to a cigarette.
How to know if you should reach out to a friend? Your friend might be worried, sad, grumpy, angry,
stressed, weird, rebellious,
anxious, antisocial,
lonely,
sleeping less,
sleeping more,
eating less, eating more. Look, there are a lot of things to watch out for, but you know your friend best. So if they're not acting themselves, why not say something? Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org. Awkward.
Welcome back to NewsWatch Ole Miss. We have entertainment reporters Logan Kennedy and Leslie Lackman on the set for an exciting recap.
That's right. Let's turn it over to them to get info on last night's annual Super Bowl halftime show.
Thank you. The Eagles took a 40-22 win on yesterday's Super Bowl, but we're here to talk about the most important part of the show.
Halftime. Let's dive right into it.
Right off the beat, Samuel L. Jackson appeared as Uncle Sam. Totally did not expect that one.
I think the real star of the show, though, was Kendrick Lamar coming out of the clown car with his backup dancers.
Yes, and I was a big fan of the red, white, and blue color scheme.
Speaking of those patriotic colors, the American flag they formed was so clean, and the choreography had unique moves from start to finish.
And then SZA, wow, she got her moment.
Right? Honestly, I wish she would have gotten a little bit more time, but on the bright side, they're going on tour together soon, so.
Now, what do you think was missing? Because I would have loved to hear Money Trees.
Well, I did love that Not Like Us tease. He did at the beginning. It built the suspense for when he performed it later. Drake can't catch a break, though, with these disses because Kendrick made sure to mention him last weekend at the Grammys, too.
Oh, and Drake's ex-girlfriend, Serena Williams, swapped her tennis shoes for sneakers. Such a pleasant surprise for the athletic community.
I can't wait to see how they top this next year. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, that's all we have tonight. Tune in tomorrow. I'm Sneha Viguru.
And I'm Gabe Evans with your latest news.
I'm Erica Durkee with Sports Watch.
And with Storm Watch, I'm William Traylor.
Be sure to keep up with us on our socials and tune in tomorrow at 5.
NewsWatch Ole Miss, where we keep it live.
And keep it local.
Have a good night. That was good.
That was